The following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? But can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Thursday edition of Running Point on YSNLive.com. Hopefully, you're tuning in on purpose. If not, then maybe there's a little bit of a problem. Anthony Hartwig alongside Mr. Ty Bartell. There you are, popping in right on time. How we doing today, Ty?
Doing good, Anthony. We have the first round going on for sectional finals last night, sectional semifinals, and we have a lot of results.
And we're feeling good. Bum, 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 bum. We know why we're feeling good, because it is officially tournament time, and it is kicked off. We have teams eliminated, and unfortunately, teams have moving on as well. Ty, it's time to get out your brackets. We have to tally our results as part of our bracket challenge. Got a lot of green highlighted on mine. I don't know about yours.
Yeah, I'm pretty good on this one.
Sorry, dropped it. That's why I just kind of faded off the box there. Let's start with D2, right? Let's just go right into D2 and see. We have all the winners looked up, even on the ones that weren't YSN that we picked. So for the Streetsboro District, let's go through it, Ty. Top of the line and see how we did. And then we'll talk about our games a little bit more in detail, of course.
All right, let me pull it up real quick.
Do you have yours that you wrote down for picks?
I have mine. I'm pulling up all the results, though.
Well, I have the results.
Oh, okay. Well, if you want to go through the results.
You ain't gonna trick me into thinking that someone else won. Earn some points.
Yeah, because that's what I'm out here trying to do.
That's what you doing. Hey, look at that. Okay. So in the first line, we're in the Streetsboro Division 2 District. CVCA won that game, so you can mark that if you had that one right.
Yeah, I did. I got CVCA on mine as well.
All right, the next one, we had Norton get the win.
Yep.
Then we saw Lutheran East win the next line of the bracket.
Yeah, I had Lutheran East over college, early college.
Gilmore won the bottom.
Yeah, 7-25. Yep. Those were all pretty much, I just picked straight up higher seed for those ones. I was just like, yeah, let's go with that.
We go into the Uniontown Lake District where we see some of our teams in. Field won the first line of the bracket, so they move on.
Yeah, and that is one I got wrong, I think. I think I got that one wrong. Let me double check.
Green on mine. The camera can't see it.
Let me double check this thing real quick. It's on this one. Uniontown Lake. Yeah, I had Ravenna, so that's
Ooh, you picked the backyard favorite.
I did. I took my backyard. They were the higher seed too, I think. It was a close game, only by 6.
Canton South won. They move on.
I had Canton South, yeah.
Streetsboro won. They move on as well.
Let me double check that. Yeah, I had Streetsboro.
On the bottom line, West Branch won handedly.
Yeah, I had West Branch.
Poland won and Mooney won.
Yep, I had both of those as well.
All right, we'll go through the next one. And once again, when we're done with this, we'll just go through and talk about our matchups a little bit in more detail. So we're just not like, hey, this team won. move on. We'll go to the Lakeside District in Division 2. Top line, Girard beat Jefferson for the third time this season, and the Indians move on.
I had that as well.
Notre Dame Cathedral Latin went into Struthers and upset the Wildcats.
I had Struthers as this one, so you got that one on me.
Kenston got into a battle but beat East.
Yeah, I got Kenston.
Let's see. We have Lake Catholic getting the win in the next line.
Yeah, I had them.
Chagrin Falls in the bottom half of the bracket.
Yeah, I had Chagrin Falls.
And then West Geauga.
Yep. I had West Geauga as well.
All right, we go to the Division 2 Nordonia District. And the top line, Springfield got the win to move on.
Let me double check this one. Yeah, I had Springfield on this one, moving on as well.
Oberlin got the win in the next bracket.
Yeah, I picked Oberlin.
Then we have Northwest getting the win.
Yeah, I had Northwest.
And in the second to last one, someone that I didn't pick.
I didn't pick them either. Woodridge. I picked Woodridge, and
I had Woodridge, and they lost.
Lost by a point, I think, too.
That stops me from having a perfect Division 2 because it's the only game I missed in the brackets, unfortunately for me.
I've missed
and Triway won the next one.
Yeah, I had Triway.
All right, we move on to, I think that's the final bracket. Nope, one more in Division 2. Just that one game in the East, one bracket. It was Tri-Valley that won.
I got Tri-Valley.
And then in the East 2 bracket, it was just the one game. It was John Glenn that got the win there.
Yes, because we're waiting for East Liverpool and Beaver Local to play in the next line, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
So we go through our points and count them up. You get 1 point for a sectional final team. 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't get points for the ones that get the bye there.
Well, yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Then 22. I have 23 points out of a possible 24 in Division 2.
That means I'm 2 less than you in that one because I picked Ravenna and Struthers as well as Woodridge, so I have 21.
All right, let's go through this Division 3 really quick, and we'll go to the Worcester bracket.
Worcester.
Trinity 1, Norway 1, Smithville 1, and Waynedale 1.
Yeah, I think I had all
there.
Yep.
All right, we're going to go through this really quickly, so this doesn't take a lot of time. In the Struthers District, we have Liberty, South Range, United, and Brookfield all getting wins.
Yep.
Should be a 4-for-4 there. I don't think any surprises happen in that one.
No, I had all 4 of those, yeah.
In the Lakeview District, it was Garfield, Berkshire, Champion, and Pymatuning Valley getting the wins in those 4. I missed the Crestview game. Unfortunately, Crestview season comes to an end.
I went 4-for-4 there.
And we have the next one. We have whoever beat Northwest. I had Northwest winning that game. They win. Mapleton won. Chippewa 1 and Elyria 1. So I missed the top line.
You're looking at the North Ridgeville?
Yeah.
Okay. I was 4-for-4 on there. I took Manchester.
The next one, just the one game, and it was Union Local to get the win.
Yeah. Yep.
So we count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I had 15 out of a total in the Division 3. 15 out of 17, I believe.
I think I went perfect in Division 3. I think I went 17 for 17
Yeah.
in that first line.
Division 4, real quick. We go to the Middle Ridge District. Valley Christian 1, Springfield 1, East Canton 1, and Newton Falls 1.
Yeah, Valley destroyed my bracket in this one early. I had Latonia winning that one, so Valley took that one from me.
In the Willard District, we have Monroeville winning. The next two games are happening tonight, so we'll have to wait for those. We have Mansfield winning and Plymouth winning.
Yep.
In the Grand Valley District, Cardinal 1, Lowville 1, McDonald 1, Western Reserve 1.
Yeah, I had all those down the line.
And last but not least, we had Cornerstone Christian getting upset in the top. We had Dalton win. We had Loudonville win and Osborne win. So I missed one there.
You took Cornerstone Christian over Fairport?
I did.
I took Fairport Harding because they were the home team.
Well, I knew Cornerstone Christian was a Division 4 powerhouse, so I
just went with home team there because it was 6 versus 7.
Yeah, I banked on them getting the win because I thought they'd be better. So 1, 2, 3, obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 points in Division 4. We're still waiting on 2 sectional semifinals games to happen tonight.
Yeah, I had 14. I missed the Valley one.
So 13 plus 15 plus.
You had 21 or 23. 23 of. And then I had 14, 17, and 21.
Then plus Division 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I had 14 in Division 1.
I'm counting right now.
So 14, 15, 13, 23.
I had
my total right now after the sectional semifinals is 65.
You had what, 14 you said? Because I'm
14 in Division 1, yeah.
I think I had 13. Let me double check here. Because I know you got McKinley over Fitch on me. You also picked Louisville over Hudson and got that one wrong, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then it is 13. I just wanted to make sure where counting was the same. I had 14, 17, 21, 13, 65.
Rob Muse says go Brookfield.
Thanks for the support, Rob.
Brookfield getting the win last night, looking very strong in their first round of the.
How many points did you say you had, Anthony, for the first?
Total 65.
Yeah. I have 65 as well.
So we're tied with
we're
2
exactly
more sectional
tied.
semifinals happening tonight in Division 3.
We each won different divisions. I think you won 1 and 2, and I won 3 and 4 so far.
So we have 2 sectional semifinals to go tonight in Division 4, and then we have the D1 sectional finals. These games will be worth 2 points each, but we'll see how that goes tomorrow. We'll go through the results again.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm excited for it.
All right, let's go over these results from last night for the YSN teams and talk about these games in a little bit more detail. We start all the way down in Division, I believe, 4. Newton Falls getting the win 40-24 over Wyndham. We have East Canton 49-38. They end Warren JFK's really impressive season much improved from last year. East Canton gets the win. The Wizards move on. Springfield gets the 63-26 win over Sebring.
Mm-hmm.
And now we'll go to the game that you were at, Valley Christian upsetting Latonia big. Probably the biggest surprise of the night, 54-39. They beat the Bears after losing the Bears by 9 just 2 days ago. Ty, you had a chance to see this. What was the big difference between a couple of days ago and today for Latonia?
Honestly, I think it was for Valley personally. I think it was just finding offense. I mean, you score 32 points on Saturday and then come out score 54 the second time around. They got healthier, and I think that helped. Two things I noticed immediately off the bat was they were commanding the boards, offensive, defensive rebounds. I mean, Valley was just getting to the ball quicker and getting themselves extra possessions and doing a great job at that. And it was helping with making shots too, because they were playing some really good defense. And the great thing that Valley did last night was not let Ella Gregorino beat them. And she got off, I think, for 13 points last night because, of course, she's going to score double digits. She's talented. She's hard to stop. But they didn't let her solely beat them last night. And I think that was big for Valley Christian going in there and getting a road win. And I think it was by defense, by rebounding, and not letting number 0 beat them for the Lady Bears.
You had the chance to catch up with Coach Agresta and the player of the game as well. Let's hear what both of them had to say in last night's postgame press conference in Valley Christian's win over Latonia.
Welcome back, everyone, here out of this sectional semifinal matchup in Latonia. I'm here with player of the game, Deandra Tensley, 19 points as a part of a 54-39 victory over Latonia. And when we talk with Coach Agresta, we know you've been dealing with your injuries this season too, and you haven't played your full season. First and foremost, talk to me about that, being one of the junior leaders on this team and kind of having to step back at points of the season and kind of go into the coaching role and cheer your team alongside the bench. What was that kind of experience like for you, and do you think it helped really form you into being one of the leaders of this team?
It was hard for me for a little while because I had to learn how to I had to find a different role to play, which was not be the leader, the scorer on the court, but have to be the leader on the sideline, encouraging them. And it took me a little while to understand that role and play it. So once I was able to do it, I was able to cheer them on, and they was able to build the confidence of playing without me, no matter what the score was.
Talking about that, of course, you helped out with 19 points of offense tonight, but Savannah Kitchen also chips in with 15, and you were able to move the ball around really well. What'd you like the most out of the team's play tonight after you guys dropped this one to Latonia on Saturday to come back and get a win here tonight?
I felt like we took the anger of losing twice and we just put it all on the court and we played together. We moved the ball. We understood that we were a team and that we had to play together. And that's why a lot of people are allowed to put up points. Like Savannah had 11. I know Kyle, Julie, and Nadia had some. And Sam, like we all was able to move the ball around.
Talk to me about this season, too. I mean, Coach Agresta kept on using the terminology about battling adversity, and it seems like a lot of you girls are doing that at a personal level. Talk to me about what you use to kind of motivate yourself when you're going through those adverse times, and it seems kind of like dark and grim. How do you kind of talk yourself out of it and keep your head above water?
What I do is that I have to make sure I understand that everyone makes mistakes. And that, like, no matter what I do, I'm going to make a mistake in the game. It's going to be how I overcome the mistake. Do I let it get to me? Do I overcome it? And, like, what happens if I make 2 mistakes back to back? What I do is I have to shake it off, calm myself down, and make sure I'm focused, my head is straight, because I have to keep my teammates focused on the goal.
Certainly we're focused up tonight in this 54-39 victory. Talk to me one moment here on just the rebounding tonight. I mean, you guys really were dominating the glass. You were hustling to every board. Was that something that you were trying to get on the girls throughout the game about? Because I know Coach Agresta was probably pounding it in on the timeouts, but he can't be on the court all the time. So when he needs those on-court coaches, was that you trying to adjust the girls and tell them where to be to try to win this rebounding battle?
In the locker room before and during halftime, he actually talked to us about getting rebounds and just focus on the offensive rebound, not fouling them, and just playing our defense and not reaching. So that's what we focused on defensively and offensively with the rebounds. So that was our team goal, and so we executed greatly.
You guys are healthy now going into this tournament. You guys got the win. It'll send you to a sectional semifinal at Lisbon Saturday at 1 p.m. What's it going to take to get this momentum rolling and come away the road victors one more time to go to districts?
We just gotta dig it in us. Like, we gotta want it. We got to come together and have the same goal and play like we played tonight and eliminate the mistakes that we had.
As we have another EOAC matchup in store for you. It's round 3 and the teams 1-1, Lisbon and Valley. The grudge match coming up Saturday at February 19th, 1 p.m. Your player of the game tonight, DeAndre Tensley, 19 points in a 54-39 victory over Latonia. Thank you so much. Welcome back, everyone, as I am here with winning coach Aaron Agresta of the Valley Christian Lady Eagles over the Lady Bears, 54-39 here in this sectional semifinal matchup. And, Coach, first things first, I'm going to just rewind back. Saturday, February 12th. It's a 40-32 game. Latonia wins in Valley Christian. Obviously, a regular season game. Obviously, things changed from Saturday to now. But talking about that, what was the biggest change and what was really the biggest swing on offense going from 32 to 54 tonight?
Right. Well, throughout the season, people who aren't following us, we've dealt with some major injuries. We've had, DeAndre Tensley, our point guard. She's, she missed about 4 or 5 games middle of the season, kind of in the heart of everything. She had an injury. And then she missed a game a little bit, a couple weeks ago. She's kind of back at full strength now. So that helps us. She's our point guard. She's our ball handler. We got her back. Savannah Kitchens, same way. They kind of, everything kind of runs through them as far as handling the ball, running the offenses, and then everyone else kind of plays a good role around them. First couple matchups versus Latonia, like I said, that was when we came here, that was one of the games that, my center, Sam Newkirk, and DeAndre were out. We actually had a 10-point lead in that game and kind of lost our minds, got a little emotional in the second half, as things do sometimes, and we lost that game. Then Saturday, this past Saturday, we had played 3 games in a row. We had, because of snow makeups and things, we played Thursday and then Friday against United, who's a very tough team. And then the next morning at 11 o'clock, we're playing Latonia again, who's also a tough team. So, I'm not making excuses, but we really haven't been at full strength. So when we regrouped on Monday, it's kind of like you're bummed out because of the weekend and everything, but we just kind of changed the game plan a little bit, changed defenses a little bit. We knew we had to shut number 0 down. I'm not sure of her name. Forgive me. She's a great player, great shooter. And then the girls around her, especially number 42, 33, they kind of know their role and can score inside. So we knew we had to slow them down. So I think the girls went out and executed that, and that was the biggest difference in today's game.
Talking about that, too. And, I mean, when you talk about the girls that weren't present and you didn't have at full strength for the first 2 matchups, talk about now the girls that were present, trying to keep their confidence high going into this matchup, because you lose 2 games to a team, morale could be kind of low. So
Absolutely.
What are you saying to them going into this matchup to make sure that they're kind of staying even with the mentality?
We know this team. We knew the team we were going to be playing, and even though we hadn't played well against them during the season, we know we hadn't reached our full potential. We haven't played our best. And really, we know there's things in this game we could have done better. So really, I think in the back of everyone's mind is, number one, it's hard to beat somebody 3 times in a season. So I kept telling them, hey, they beat us twice. It's hard to beat someone 3 times, no matter who it is. And then I think we know we're just better than we had been playing against them the first 2 matchups. So I just credit the girls. Latonia's a tough team. They're coached well. They have some good players. I just am really proud of our girls that we executed the game plan. And like you said, we're motivated and we had a lot of energy tonight, chasing balls down and 50-50 balls and playing a solid defense. So I really have to credit the girls for executing.
Going down the list of just crediting the girls, you mentioned the defense on Ella Gregorino, number 0. She got loose, I think, for about 13 points tonight. Yeah. I mean, she's still a phenomenal offensive player, like you said, but Kyle Turner, I believe, is the one that drew defense on her.
Yeah.
And talking about her performance defensively tonight, yes, Gregorino's still going to score points, but she didn't let you. Kyle Turner did not let her beat you guys tonight.
Right. It's she's going to get hers. It's kind of those things. When you're playing, LeBron James or Kyrie, they're going to get their points. You have to try to limit them as much as you can and make the other girls beat you, and that's kind of what we did. So she had 19 when she played a Saturday, and then I think when she plays the first time, she might have had 20 something. So she's a really good player. We knew that going in. And, seeing them 2 times in the season, it helps you a little bit. You kind of know what they're going to do. And so, we kind of threw some stuff at them that we hadn't shown them this season, in the defense that we played.
talking about two players, your two big scores, DeAndre Tensley 19, Savannah Kitchen 15. I mean, you're talking right there 34 points of offense, and that's 34 out of 54 between two players.
Right.
Talk to me about their two performances and really how big they were in this game tonight.
Right, like I said, they're the girls that handle the ball for us. They run the offense for us. They're great shooters. Especially when they get hot, shooters can get real streaky. But everything kind of runs through them, and then everybody else knows their role. They know where they want to shoot the ball. They know if they're a rebounder or not. Everybody kind of knows how to play with them. So I think everybody just bought into the team mentality tonight. And even though those were our two leading scorers, everybody gave us energy. Everybody gave us effort. And knew their role on the team.
Two more quick
the win.
questions for you then, Coach, and then we'll get you out of here. First one being, it seemed like you guys were winning the rebounding battle all 4 quarters tonight. Was that something you stressed going into this matchup? And if so, do you think it played a huge part in the victory tonight?
When we don't play well, we don't box out, and we don't get, especially on the defensive end. Okay, we let a lot of teams get a lot of offensive rebounds. When we limit teams to one shot, we're just. I mean, anyone's like that, but you're 10 times better when you're limiting teams to 1 or 2 shots instead of 3 or 4. And they, at times today they did, offensive rebound against us. We didn't do that well on the boards. But like you said, I think we were scrappy. I think we were, our energy chasing down balls that were loose, and just scrapping for jump balls down in the paint. Especially in girls basketball, there's a lot of jump balls. You know what I mean? Girls getting on the floor, grabbing, throwing themselves around. So, I think it goes back to energy. We didn't do a great job rebounding the ball, but we were hustling. We were out hustling. So I think that's kind of credits the rebounding game.
Final question for you, Coach. The win now sends you to the sectional final and got one more game ahead of you before districts start, and it is another EOAC opponent in Lisbon now. You're going to be traveling to Blue Devil country. Talk to me about playing the Lady Blue Devils and what it's going to take for you guys to get yourselves to districts now.
No, absolutely. They're a well-coached team as well. They have some shooters on the team. We beat them early in the season by 14 at our place, and then went to their place, minus some players again, and they just shot the lights out. They hit 9 threes in that game, which was 27 out of like 42 points that they had, and we got in a really big hole early and couldn't catch up. So limiting their shooting is going to be a big deal. Kind of like tonight, just taking their shooters out of the game and limiting what they can do, and just for energy again. I mean, like I said, I believe that our team is athletically and talently, we haven't played our best. I really believe that. So we're just going to play hard. We have nothing to lose. And that was kind of the thing going in this game. We have nothing to lose. We won 6 games this year, okay? We've had injuries. We've been through adversity. You know what? Let's get to Mineral Ridge. Let's win these 2 games and get to Ridge and see what we can do. So
beautiful thing about basketball, Coach Agresta, is you never know what could happen. And you could catch those Lady Eagles as they take on a EOAC opponent, Lisbon. And that is, of course, at Lisbon, February 19th at 1 p.m. Catch both Coach Aaron Agresta and the Lisbon Lady Blue Devils there. YSNLive.com will have the coverage. Coach, thank you so much.
Thanks.
That was Coach Agresta and Deandra Tensley. I always, the first name gets me. Joining you after Valley Christian's upset win over Latonia. We will get to more recaps and post-game interviews in a little bit, but we have to take a break from that because we have a very special guest in the green room, and he's used to having people in the green room himself in the TV studio. Josh Fitch from 21 WFMJ joining us on Running Point. Josh, thank you so much for the time today.
Oh, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Good to see you guys.
I mean, we were
feels like forever.
I know we were just kind of jealous because you popped up on the Power Hour, and we were like, "Wait a minute."
Had to get you on here, Josh. Had to get you on here. I mean, Josh, being at as many games as both Anthony and I are, we constantly see you doing great work with WFMJ, constantly at these games in the area as well. Just talk to me a little bit about your experience with the basketball season this year and just how it's been for you.
Yeah, it's it's always good seeing you guys. I told DJ last week, I feel like every time I'm at one of these games, I'm trying to not walk in front of you guys to mess up your guys' stream going on. So I'm always ducking my head. But no, it's been crazy. It's crazy. We're already into sectional play for the girls, and the boys start up next week and everything. And now it's really that busy time. I mean, we had almost 40 games locally or whatever going on last night, and just to see all the scores coming in. And have them mean a little more in the tournament is pretty exciting, and it's great. To me, it's just crazy that we're here already.
So do me a favor, because I think everyone sees you on the news and they see you out of games, but they don't understand what goes on behind the scenes to make all this stuff happen. Take us through like a normal work day for someone that works for WFMJ Sports, and go through all the things that are under your responsibility and all the things that you have to do besides the obvious, going out to a game, shooting it, and then being on the news on camera.
Yeah, so it is a lot. Dana Balish, our sports director, always sets us up really well. I mean, we come in usually around 3:45, and we have a solid game plan in place, and that is his doing, and how organized he is. And it you have to be. I mean, he always tells us you have to be organized, and it's so true because there's so many things you kind of got to monitor. While you're doing other things. So basically we'll go in, if I'm doing an 11 o'clock cast, or if Dante Senefani's doing an 11 o'clock cast, we'll go through our rundown, try and time everything out as best we can prior to anything even being done realistically for the show, because you have to hit, we have 4 minutes, generally speaking, on a nightly basis at 11. So, you got to kind of fit in that time frame, which can be difficult at times. Because you don't want to be too light, you don't want to go over that, and that's something that's always in your head, is the timing aspect of it. But we get all of our scores online, so that's something we are monitoring all the time. And if we're going to shoot a game, we got to come back and cut all that stuff. We get extended highlights up on the web, and then we got to make sure we get all those scores up too as they're coming in, and then we really try and blast our stuff on social media and stuff too. So it's a lot of moving parts. There is a little bit of a routine that you do get into, but you can always just have one of those oddball nights where something else breaks, or you see something and you feel, man, I could get a quick web story up on that. I'm going to try to, before the news starts at 11. So there are a lot of moving parts.
Man, I gotta follow up, because you talked about the scores, and I think that's one of the best things that you do to help us out real big time. You get scores out so quickly, and I'm trying to get scores, and I just go, well, WFMJ's beating me to it. How do you guys get scores so fast? It's some kind of sorcery. Kind of sorcery.
No, it's a credit to a lot of the schools who who email us that stuff, and do a good job of getting us that stuff so we can get it out. And I'm sure just like you guys do at the games you guys are, we follow you guys too, vice versa. So when we see a YSN score, we know that's a score we can trust and get it up there too. So it kind of goes hand in hand, but a lot of the times it's the schools, or if we're at a game, we leave a card and they'll call it in. But a big part of that is social media. A lot of these schools have, a good following on their social media accounts that they post that stuff. And it's a huge benefit for us too, because not only can we get a score online, but if we're doing a web story on them, we can show that student enthusiasm or something like that in a story as well, by bringing a tweet over, and I think that can add a lot to what we're doing. So it's really a credit to the schools, and getting their stuff out there. It helps a lot.
Basketball nights in the area, you always seem to be busy, Josh. And I mean, I'm curious on where your coverage area is, and where have you been as far as schools this year too, as far as what you've been able to cover, because I see you at a lot of different ones, it seems like.
Yeah, it's our goal to get as many as we can. We try and spread the coverage as well as we can, and whether that means going to Lower Columbiana County one night, or Trumbull County, or staying in Mahoning County where we are, it kind of all just depends on what's going on, and how much time we have, because our basketball highlights are a huge part of our nightly broadcast, because there are games every day, so sometimes the tough thing can be, how many games do we get, again, with that time slot, or what other news is going on. We have Youngstown State playing still, both teams there, baseball's right around the corner. It's just a lot of, sometimes there's a lot of options that you can choose from, and sometimes it seems like there's no options you can choose from. So
do you go to multiple games a night then? Like when you go out to cover, so what is the most amount of games you've been able to get and fit into in a single night of coverage that you've been able to get to?
Well, just myself. Usually the most any one person goes to is one. Like if both games start at 7. Like last night I went to the Lovo Matthews game, then I went to the Hubbard Mooney game first, and then went to Lowville for the Lowville Matthews girls game. So those are 2 games I went to myself, and then our sports videographer Dan went to another game as well. So that's kind of the teamwork that makes this thing all work. Is sometimes I'm going to get two games, sometimes he's going to get 2. So sometimes he's going to get 3, and I'm back at the station monitoring web stuff and getting everything ready. And there's a little more time to do that, so to speak, on some nights than others. But it's a total team effort, whether I go to 2 games or 1 or none. It really is a team thing. But generally speaking, it's the most I would go to on a night I'm anchoring is probably 2. And then just get back, cut them up, and then see what time it is.
Got to work efficiently though, because we know how quickly these games end. So you got to be efficiently and you got to work quickly. And I mean, you guys do a great job over there with that as well.
We appreciate it. You guys too. So
one of the things that we always ask our announcers and our personalities here as part of our kind of, I guess you would call it a new ad campaign. You see them on our broadcast. What's your favorite part about covering these high school athletics and covering these local kids and being able to shine a light on them? I know you guys cover, the obviously the regional sports as well. But what's your favorite part about covering the hyper local high school athletes that you do?
There's a lot of things, but it's because we have so many teams to cover. It's always good when you can find something out about one of those teams that you didn't know before, even if you've been to 5 games that year before or something like that. Anything, because sometimes fans will even come up and say something, or the athletic directors, let you know something, or say, hey, next week, so-and-so is only 20 points away from 1,000. That's a note we can take down and hopefully, cover it. Help our coverage later in the day, because Dana always says it's about being a day ahead. So finding those little things, and, I don't care if it's, last game out, so-and-so shot 14 of 14 from the free throw line. That's something you can add in on a night to night basis that, nobody's going to know unless you're an avid follower of that team or whatever. But, it's just finding those little things when you can. And some nights it's easier than others. But, I think those little things can make a difference and add to it. So for me, it's looking for those little things and finding it. And then really just seeing people, it's been cool over the last couple of years just to get to know people in these different communities that, being from Fitch, I never would have been to, in Columbiana County or in Trumbull County, so just kind of getting to see some familiar faces from that aspect is cool too, which I know you guys are doing too with all the games you go to.
You're not kidding. Quick follow-up to that, because you talked about the unexpected stories that you get, or the unexpected, little game notes that you get. Have there been any that really stood out, like in your mind when you look back at your time at WFMJ, of maybe one of your favorite unexpected stories that popped up into your vision?
Oh, off the top of my head, it's tough. There are definitely some out there. Probably, I'm trying to think. One of the cool ones I did was the female referee story I did last year, because I forget who's maybe you guys can help me remember the female referee in the Super Bowl last year. Sarah Thomas, right? She was the first female referee doing a Super Bowl, or official doing the Super Bowl. So I went out and talked to Anne-Marie Martin and Laura Weimer, 2 local female officials. And it was kind of by a happenstance thing, because Mrs. Martin is a teacher at Fitch. So I had a contact through her, and then I reffed a couple games last year. So I was able to have a little bit of a networking in that, and was able to reach out to Laura, and that was one of those stories, just talking to them, that maybe sometime in the future they'd be interested in doing. And they did, and we did make it work. And they happened to be doing a game together one day last year, and we kind of just made it work. And, just by talking to them on that day, we were able to set up something for the future. So it kind of worked out pretty cool. And, when you see these things track on social media well, and people are sharing it and stuff, and, saying we enjoyed that, that's the ultimate compliment. And that's ideally what we're, those things that we're looking for too.
Going a little bit more on like the personal side, Josh, and just what led you to WFMJ in the first place. I think just looking back at Fitch, because I think you and I went through the same classes
Oh,
too
yeah.
with Miss Cardello too.
Oh, yeah.
How influential do you think those classes are for youth getting into the media this year, and how helpful do you think classes like that are for kind of shaping the next sports anchors and the next anchors of news and what have you?
Yeah, I think it's huge because Mrs. Cardillo at Fitch lit the fire for me, really. I mean, and me and you, Tyler, went and called games together back at that time too. So in high school, and it was cool because she let me kind of do my own thing with it, and it wasn't really anything organized, so to speak, and it was just fun, and classes like that and even classes like that in college are huge because it gives you like the taste of it, and then you pair that with an internship like I did, and that just took it to the next level because you get a real feel of what it is on a day-to-day basis and really the behind the scenes of what it is because, like Anthony mentioned, it is more than just kind of getting there and going on. And, Dana said it best is, if you're getting into the business to go on TV, you're getting into it for the wrong reason. And, when people ask me, I always say in an 8.5 hour day or 8 hour day, the most I'm on TV or on the air is like 6 minutes at the absolute most. So, 7 hours and 50 minutes of the day otherwise is literally getting ready for the show and getting all that aspect and stuff to go in. So that's way more important, than going on the air. However, you got to go on and take it on, and you want to do it accurately and correctly. And, so that, I think, Tyler, to answer your question, is huge because I think it gave me like it lit the fire for me and wanted me or gave me the idea to do more and, know that I want more out of that and, to kind of pursue it even more.
6 minutes on the air, man, I'd kill for that schedule. you know,
8 hour day though.
right. All the work that goes on under the scenes that no one sees. You're like the great and powerful Oz that no one sees behind the curtain.
No.
Josh, what I want to ask you before we let you go, and we used to do this with Dana all the time, we want to give you a chance to promote what WFMJ is doing tonight in the next coming days and what fans of WFMJ should look forward to on their airways here in the next couple nights.
Yeah, so today we've Canfield and Howland are back at it in a rematch. Those two teams split the regular season series, so I think that's a game we're going to grab tonight. There's also some action going on in Western Pennsylvania, and locally tied Ryan Blaney, NASCAR driver, is in the dual race tonight to qualify for the Daytona 500 going on Sunday. So that's something we're going to be following as well because Blaney has local ties to the area. So, the OHSA tournament is kind of in full force now after sectional play started. The YSU men's basketball team is in action tonight against UIC. So that's something we'll have coverage of along with post game, with Coach Calhoun, win or lose. And, kind of just go from there as both of those seasons begin to wind down. I mean, I believe they have four games in 4 days, across between the men and the women starting today. So, that's kind of the highlight right now. And, anything that comes along the line, we're gonna try and highlight as best we can, of course.
This has got to be one of the busiest times in sports because we got basketball still going and getting into their most important part of the season. College basketball is still going. They're down the last stretch. Baseball starts tomorrow for YSU. Softball has already started. Jeez,
it's crazy.
Juggling act, man.
To be totally honest with you, the wild thing is Dana does such a good job of kind of corralling all this stuff because he's there during the day and he just has a good grip on it all, and you have to, and it's the time that he puts in, and that's the testament to it. So what I try and do is just follow it as best I can and add anything that I can and know when I go in, to have an idea of what's going on. That way I can execute any plans that we have for that night the best way possible, because you do kind of have to go in knowing what's going on to kind of do it effectively, because it really, like, I can't say it enough, it really is about the prep and everything. And even getting scripts in our rundown for the 11 11 o'clock news, even doing that at 4 o'clock is such a benefit, because when we get back from shooting these games and stuff, everything's in place. We kind of just fill in, and then we can make the adjustments, if we need to, or if something else comes down crazy, or, if someone gets traded, or, Baker Mayfield gets traded tonight, then I know, we can know what the line is and where that's going to fall and all that kind of thing.
Is the trade market open for sportscasters? Can we bring on WFMJ and then we'll give you somebody? And
I don't know, but I'm sure I'd be on the block if it was.
No, Josh, you're inexpendable for
I wouldn't
WFMJ.
say
They
that.
wouldn't let you go. We'd have to give up 4 first-round draft picks.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
Josh,
thank
we
you
thank
so
you so much.
Yes.
Oh, no problem. Hey, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
I know you're going to be a mainstay on the Power Hour with DJ, but we wanted to get you on at least once on Running Point to give you a taste of our afternoon show as well.
Oh, for sure. Oh, me and DJ were cracking up last week. I wasn't sure what to expect last week. I didn't want to be, throw a wrench into anything or whatever. But man, we were cracking up.
Power Hour is much more laid back than live news.
Yeah,
a little bit. No, we love all the work you guys do over at WFMJ, Josh, and I thank you so much for coming on and just giving us your time today.
Hey, Anthony and Tyler, thanks so much, guys. If you guys ever need anything, let me know, and I'll certainly do the same.
Yep, will do. Thank you, sir.
All right, guys.
Josh Fitch, one of our wonderful partners over at WFMJ, joining us live on Running Point. We just wanted to take the time to just highlight the partnership that we have with 21 WFMJ on this show. Obviously, Josh will continue to be a mainstay on the Power Hour. I think DJ's going to have him on Mondays, if I'm not mistaken, on the Power Hour to be a guest on there. We're not going to take that from him. DJ,
he's lucky. He's lucky he grabbed him up first, because I would have grabbed him up to be a mainstay weekly for this show as well.
Just like Coach Jake Lee in football, we had to get him on once, and then we'll gladly give it to DJ for the rest of the year. So,
No, it was it's a good interview though, and I mean we love our partnership over there at WFMJ, and Josh does great work, and of course under Dana Bolish there, they all do great work getting some of the best coverage in local sports on there constantly too.
And all you really see out of it is 6 minutes. Like he said, 6 minutes of airtime is what he gets.
And it's 8 hours of work that goes into it.
People don't see the 7 hours and 56 minutes of work that go into that.
And that's just from Josh. You're not counting in everybody else's 7 hours and some minutes of work too. Like it's a lot of work to go into it too. And I mean that's the thing with working with the media as well. And I mean, editing and filming and getting multiple shots, and I mean a lot of work goes into making it look as good as it does, and
they have to write their own stuff.
They do, and they do a great job with it too.
Me and you are just spitting stuff in the air. Like they have it written down, they have a rundown. I mean, they are way more structured than we'll ever be. We are not structured at all.
Yeah, no, they do a fantastic job over there. That's why we always say if it's anything over 21, it's a bust. You gotta
exactly
stick with 21.
Anything over 21, absolute bust. We're gonna take our first break of the day, and when we get back, we'll continue our recaps of the tournament action, and then don't miss it. We will have the coaches corner and a player profile for the YSU baseball team that starts their season tomorrow as well. Anthony Romo and Richie Giuliano were great enough to go and get those, and we're going to play them today for you in the 1 o'clock hour. All that coming up and more on Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
New things happen all day. Some are good, some not so good. In today's complicated world, while you're busy working, playing, and living life, we're busy helping you make sense of the day's news. And there's only one place where it comes together with clarity, context, and accountability. It's 21 News at 6 with me, Madison Tromler, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 6. It's what the day's news really means to you.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, shop with confidence knowing we're ready to go the extra mile for you. With the largest selection of used vehicles in the Valley, backed by the Greenwood Advantage Warranty. Every one of our vehicles has undergone our own 126-point inspection, so it passes the most important inspection, yours. No other dealership has the extra inventory, gives you extra for your trade, and goes the extra mile for you. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
For a great vehicle and a great experience, come to Boardman Mitsubishi today. As always, our full lineup of Mitsubishi models comes with a standard 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Boardman Mitsubishi, your hometown Mitsubishi dealer since 1999.
Coca's Pizza, always supporting our community and our local athletes. Stop in on game day or score big and have it delivered right to your door. Check out our daily specials at cocaspizza.com. That's Coca's Pizza, we serve it hot.
At Hubbard Chevrolet, Hubbard can help you get the financing you need, regardless of your situation. I'm Tony Page, and I've helped thousands of customers in Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania buy a vehicle. Visit HubbardChevy.com to get pre-approved. Remember, folks, Hubbard can help.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University and proud.
Welcome back to Running Point on YSNLive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austin. Down Anthony Hartwick alongside Ty Bartell as we continue this Thursday episode of Running Point on YSNLive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austin Town. And Ty, we went through some of the results and we heard from Coach Agresta and Tinsley after the game in Latonia, I should say, in Latonia, upset for Valley Christian. We got more recaps and post-game interviews to get to, and let's go back to our finals from last night's tournament action, and we can tell you that Western Reserve beat Wellsville 70-40 to move on in the Division 4 district. McDonald moves on as well, 61-29. They get the win over Heartland Christian. We have Brookfield getting the win over Campbell, 65-13. Lowville gets the win over Matthews, 33-23. Rockets move on. United gets their hopes of a district championship started with a 48-22 win over LeBray. And South Range, they get the win 55-52-42 over Grand Valley, a Grand Valley team tie that was much better than that 20 seed would let you think.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing with basketball. Anyone could show up.
South Range showed up well. They fought a Grand Valley team that went tooth and neck with them, went toe-to-toe the whole time. The Raiders were able to pull it out. They had a big 7-0 run towards the end of the second quarter when Grand Valley cut the lead down to 1. It was 17-16, and the Raiders made it 24-16. And they never really looked back. The lead never got much bigger than that, but it also never got much smaller than that. So the Raiders just kind of kept pace from that point on and won the game by 10, 52-42. I talked to Coach Fischel and Lexi Giles, also Mallory Vidman, after the Raiders win last night over Grand Valley. Let's hear what they all had to say about their win and about their game at Waterloo on Saturday. Anthony Hartwig here with tonight's game-winning coach, Jeff Fischel. South Range advances to the sectional final with a 52-42 win over Grand Valley. Coach, this is the last game here this year. You get to send your seniors off to a win. Before we talk about the intricacies of this game and what the X's and O's, talk about what it meant to you to get these seniors this win tonight on their last game on this floor of their career.
Well, it was important because, if we would have lost tonight, this is how it ended. For what they've done for this program in their 4 years here, it's been really special. So, it's nice to come out and play, do what we needed to against a really good Grand Valley team and get the win and send them off of this court the right way. And, now we get to go and have a couple more practices here and figure stuff out.
This Grand Valley team was a lot better than a 20 seed would indicate. They were pushing you all night. You guys never trailed, though. How did you guys stay confident through the whole game, push through the whole game, and every time they seemed to make a run, you guys were there for the answer? What did it take tonight?
Yeah, Grand Valley is a really good basketball team. We saw that on film. Their record doesn't indicate how good they are. They're really well coached. They have some really talented players, and they play really hard. And that's a good combination for a basketball team. So we knew this was going to be a battle. We didn't worry about what the seeds were. We knew we had to show up and play. And we've been working every night for this time of year all season long. And so that helps us because we didn't all of a sudden show up a couple nights ago and say, hey, it's tournament time. We've got to turn it on a little bit. We've been working towards this. And, our offense has come together. And, I mean, it's 2 games in a row we broke 50. It's a small miracle that we did that. So, but kids knew that it was a tournament game, and we just had to stay focused for 4 quarters, and they came out and executed that.
I know you made that joke that it's a small miracle, but I want to indicate because you had several girls score 2-4 points, but those 2-4 points add up to 10-12. You win by 12. So, I mean, talk about how important it is just to have people in the stat box, even if it's 2 points, just add to this offense and give you an extra 10-12 points on the night.
Well, we've gotten so much better as a team when Lexi has the ball, of moving without the ball, and instead of screening for her, screening away or cutting to the basket, which opens things up for everybody, including Lexi. And that's why she was able to have the success that she had tonight, because we made them guard other players. And, we've worked on that on a nightly basis. And early in the season, it was not pretty, and we had to take more time and focus on it. But give credit to our girls that they've stayed dedicated, they've stayed focused, and it's paying off now.
Of course, we talked to Lexi Giles after tonight, player of the game, 26 points. Kind of come to expect that kind of performance from her. We also got the chance to talk to Mallory Vidman, who just really locked down defense all night on 2 really tough guards that Grand Valley had. Talk about her defense and how much that's going to mean going forward. I know we talk about it a lot, but she does a lot of the under-the-radar stuff that people just don't realize.
Well, Mallory is such a blessing to coach, because when we get that scouting report, that's the first thing we focus on is, okay, who's Mallory guarding? And it's always going to be the other team's best player. And when we have that luxury, that just makes the scouting report that much easier, because we've got a girl that is not only capable of taking on that challenge, she's eager to do that. And she gets excited every game. Coach, who do I got? Who's going to bring the ball up for him? Who am I guarding? And so that attitude resonates through our team on defense. It starts with her, but it's a team defensive effort. Everybody brings the energy. And so having Mallory start that for us has been a real blessing. Coach, before I let you go, let's preview this Waterloo game on Saturday. For the first time in your tenure, it's going to be a tournament game on the road. What's it going to take to – I mean, it's quote-unquote upset, but what's it going to take to go and beat a Waterloo team that hasn't lost since the first game of the year? Well, they're rolling, and they're playing with a lot of confidence. And we're going to have to show up, and we're going to have to play a really good basketball game. We know they're going to be well coached. You don't have a record like that without being well coached and having a talented roster. So we know they're going to have those things, and we'll break down the film, and we'll get to work, and we're going to start with working on what we need to work on, and then we'll focus on what they do and make sure that we're prepared for as well as we can be with 2 practices for what they do. We know it's going to be a challenge, but like you said, we get to go there, so hopefully that helps our girls play a little bit looser, and maybe we'll make some of them layups that we missed tonight and put a little more pressure on them.
All right, Coach, thank you. Congratulations on the win, and good luck the rest of the way.
Appreciate it, Anthony.
Anthony Harvey here with Mallory Vidman, one of the senior stars here for South Range. Mallory, last game of the year on this floor for you, last game of your career on this floor. How does it feel to kind of go out on top and get this win?
It's sad, but it makes me feel, it warms my heart. It's pretty sad. I like to cry to my best friend, but I'm glad we won.
Did you have this sense that this was your last game on this floor and there was no way you were going to lose tonight?
Yes, we went in, we're like, these are for our seniors. This is our last game here ever. And it was just, in my heart, I was like, this is all for us. We got to do it. We got to win here.
It was packed to gym night. How did it feel to have this South Range community come out and really take advantage of their last time to see you here on this floor?
It was nice to see that people would support us, and we had some students from South Range come, and they were all dressed up, and it was kind of funny because you could hear them saying stuff during the game, and it was nice to see everyone support us.
Mallory, every time we talk about you with Coach Vigil, he talks about how you do a lot of stuff that doesn't go in the stat sheet, doesn't get rewarded by a lot of the players that do interviews and things like that. What does it feel to know that you contribute to this team and know that you do a lot of stuff that maybe people don't recognize when they just casually watch?
I always thought of it like I don't really need to have these high-scoring games, or shooting's not my main thing. I just need to help the team out. If I'm there to help them on defense or get the assists or just do anything but shooting. It doesn't have to be all about shooting. If I'm helping my team, it just makes me feel like I'm doing something good and giving the other team confidence. Even if it's just boosting their confidence or telling them, hey, good shot, or get it next time, or just lift them off the ground.
Lockdown defense is your game. You're always on the other team's best player. What does that mean to you that Coach has the confidence in you to always put you on one of the team's best scorers?
It's definitely a mission for me because I always know he's like, all right, we're going to put you on the best player. So I know that my mission for the game is just shut her down. Just got to stop her. And then that's my main focus. Even if I have 2-4 points a game, it's whatever because I know I stopped their best player and I just completed this mission I told me to get on.
All right, Mallory, what's it going to take to get this win and keep the season going on Saturday?
I think we need to have a lot of focus at practice, and communication is just our key to winning. And everyone has to shoot, but communication and focus is what we need.
Mallory, thank you so much. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Anthony Harvey here with tonight's player of the game for South Range, Lexi Giles, in their win over Grand Valley to advance in this tournament. Lexi, this is your last game on this floor. What did it feel like to go out with a win?
Definitely felt great. I'm glad we didn't lose, but I think playing as a team and winning as a team on this court for the last time was definitely a great experience.
You knew you were going to get pushed today, but how much did you guys just push through this game? You never trailed. What was the mindset going into tonight?
Definitely just to play our game and stay calm. No need to rush anything. We practiced pretty hard the last couple of days, just working on what we needed to do to win the game. So.
When you look at your offense, 26 points tonight, one of your best games of the year. How does it feel to have that kind of performance here in the tournament?
Very good. Definitely a confidence booster going on to the next games, and just knowing that I got to play like that for every game. So.
You talk about confidence going into the next game. It's Waterloo on the road. What's it going to take to get a win next on Saturday?
Definitely playing like we had how we did today, but limiting our mistakes, trying not to foul as much, but also communicating like we did today. And everyone needs to shoot. And, yeah.
Lexi Giles, congratulations on the win, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com. That was Coach Fishel, Mallory Vidman, and Lexi Giles, all having their thoughts heard after the South Range win over Grand Valley, 52-42. They advanced to play Waterloo. And when you talk about, I think you're going to see a lot of Mallory Vidman versus Rose Couts as Rose brings the ball up more times than not for Waterloo.
Carrie English and Lexi Giles. I mean, there's some great matchups in this one, and I don't care who you are. You need to be in Atwater for this one, and if you can't, you need to be watching it on the network because this is going to be a fantastic matchup, I think.
I can't do either because I'll also be calling a game. So, I
Defensively,
just have to rely on you for some updates.
defensively, this is going to be a fun game. This is going to be a really fun game.
Yes, I would be shocked if this game went into higher than 45.
Yeah, I think I was about to say the winner of this game might have 40 to 45 points. I was going to say 42-38 is going to be the winner.
Realistically, I'd say like first to 35 might win, but
It might even be a 30 point slugfest.
It might get pushed to 40, 45, but I would say like if I had to put anything on it, it would be like 35 to 40 is your sweet spot for winning that game.
It'll be interesting. You don't see these two teams lock horns that often, so it'll be a fun matchup to watch.
No, the last time, let's see. The last time I can remember South Range and Waterloo meeting in a district tournament game back in my freshman year of high school, so that would have been 2007-8 season, and they met in I believe the district semifinals.
I believe Waterloo had a pretty good team that year. They did,
and South Range almost lost to them, beat Waterloo, and then went on to lose to Rootstown, I believe, that year in the district championship game in Mineral Ridge, which is where the Division 4 district championship game is now. We continue with our scores. Liberty 159-19 over East Palestine. Champion 63-47 over St. Thomas Aquinas. Garfield gets the win over Wycliffe 52-32. We have Notre Dame Cathedral Latin upsetting Struthers 54-45. Mooney got the win over Hubbard. They were once up 33-9 in this game. Ended up being 44-32. Mooney advances to play Poland, who won 42-23 over Lakeview. And to close out the final scores from last night, West Branch takes care of Niles 68-19 to advance to the district, the sectional finals, I should say.
Getting interesting. Getting real interesting. We have the next rounds kind of figured out now, so that's going to make things a lot more interesting, I think.
Bracket challenge, we're tied after the sectional semifinals, minus 2 games,
which is just stupid.
I think I'm pretty sure we both picked the same 2 teams to win Division 4 in the 2 games that haven't been played and will be played tonight.
You're probably right. Yeah.
I mean, I doubt that you picked against Dalton or Lucas.
No.
So those 2 games happening tonight in Division 4 sectionals. Other than that, everything is off and running. We have sectional finals tonight. Canfield versus Howland. We'll be able to preview that and pick that along with the other games on the network in the second half of this hour. But first, we want to go to Youngstown State. Their baseball team starts the season tomorrow, and we are so proud that YSN is another season with being the home of YSU baseball. You'll be able to hear this next voice a lot when you tune into YSU baseball on YSN. It's Richie Giuliano and Anthony Romo. They caught up with Coach Bernalini and Lucas Nasanti as the player profile and coaches corner. So let's hear from both of them. And when we come back, then we'll take a break and we'll do our picks and previews for tonight's game as well. So here is the coaches corner with Dan Bernalini, the head coach of the Youngstown State Penguins baseball team.
What's up, Penguin Nation? Richie Giuliano, Anthony Romo on the far left. Pleased to be joined by the head coach here at Youngstown State on the baseball side and head coach Dan Bertolini. Coach, it's a busy day for you, media day, as you prep for your first opening weekend. Thanks for joining us here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to get going.
Now, just talk about what this team has kind of worked on in the last 3 weeks. You start practice in the month of February. It's tough to go out there and, only get 3 weeks of preparation before you begin. So just talk about what this team has worked on and, what you guys are getting ready to roll.
Well, I think, the hardest part for college baseball is the most time we need to spend with them. They spend away from us over winter break. So, it's, a lot of that is on them to make sure that they're prepared and ready to go when they come back. And our guys did a fantastic job. Most of these guys are pretty familiar with that process. But, the last 3 weeks, we had a couple weeks of individuals to kind of get guys back acclimated and kind of work on some things. And then these last 3 weeks, most of the weeks are spent inter-squadding, getting live game reps against our pitchers, our hitters getting, live game reps, our pitchers getting live game reps, kind of building those arms up so they're ready to go for this weekend and the rest of the season, and then fine tuning some of the small stuff. Really kind of figuring out our, who's going to play where and what the lineup's going to look like, and those type things, and really evaluating where we're at. And that's been it's been a great process so far.
Now, you kind of alluded to some of the new faces. You lose a couple of Horizon League first teamers from a year ago. Just talk about the transfer portal and some guys that you guys brought in this year, and a couple players that might fill the middle infield like we talked about at the first pitch breakfast.
Yeah, I mean, we're not really huge on the transfer portal. We got a couple guys in. I think we had 3 transfer portal guys with Jake Elowitz. We had Austin Earl and AJ Clegg. So those 3 guys were from the transfer portal. And we added, Seth Lucero, junior college transfer. So, our middle is going to be different. We lose 3 guys that had played a lot of innings and had been very elite for us over the last, 3 or 4 or 5 years. So, with Braden, but I think what our program has done is, I think, and this will be a true test to see where we're at, but the development of our players, really like not just bringing guys in, but what we do once we get them here. So, I think Braden O'Shaughnessy is going to really have to step up and kind of fill in with Blaze. And he had some opportunities. He's probably had the most experience of those new guys as far as, playing time. Had a good, pretty good year in some limited role last year. Trey Law is the guy that's kind of learned and developed under those with those old guys. Got a chance to play a little bit in 2020 and a little bit in 21. And, I think he's ready to take that next step. And then Seth Lucero will be the other middle infielder that'll join in that group. So excited for just kind of see that. Our outfield's a bunch of old guys, so they got a lot of experience out there. But those 3 guys, that'll be the biggest test.
Yeah.
In transitioning from the new guys coming on to a guy that spent a lot of time here at Youngstown State, now former Youngstown State Penguin, Colin Floyd, we got to witness him speak at the first pitch breakfast just a few weeks ago. Just with him moving on, we saw how much that he meant to this program. Do you see any guys that have kind of stepped up into his leadership role and start to bring the guys around, or has it been a group effort to replace a guy like him?
Yeah, I mean, he's really special, and he's you don't get a lot of guys like that, once in a generational type guy. But I think our seniors have done a good job. Even though we lost a lot, we still have a lot. We have 13 seniors, so we have a lot of older guys that have been part of college baseball, and I think they've done a really nice job. I mean, John Snyder and Chad Coles are 2 guys. Lucas Nassani, those guys have been in our program for a long time, so I think they've done a good job of keeping that tradition, because that's really, what we want to do is we want to continue that and grow it and become better. But this is a really tight group of guys, so we're excited to kind of see. This was a true test. I always say it every year. This is a true test, this opening weekend. And as we start to travel and guys start to find their roles, and, they have to be all in for our team. And it can't be something that's individual. So I think those guys have done a good job of that.
And coming off a year like last year where you guys set so many program records, it was one of the best individual seasons in program history. How do you as a coach kind of hit that reset button and make your guys know that this is a new year, this is a whole new game plan, and we're not sticking on last year?
Yeah, I think just because we lost so many guys from last year's team, I think this is it's a lot of new faces that haven't had as much opportunity to play in certain positions, and I think that's like a good energy. They're trying to prove themselves, and we've talked to these guys since we brought them in. Like, this is about sustaining success for long periods of time. So I think it's exciting to have some expectations, to have people thinking that, this is a team that can do some damage. So I think that they're hungry to prove that, even though we lost guys, this is still a good team and a good program, and we want to carry that tradition on.
Now, we talked about Colin Floyd and how exceptional the pitching staff was last year, 447 strikeouts combined, which is a program record. But this is going to be a new rotation this season. So just talk about some of the guys that might slide from the bullpen and that we might see starting.
So opening weekend, we're going to go Friday with John Snyder. Saturday will be Travis Perry, and Sunday will be Matt Broski. Okay. Chad Cole's the guy that's going to eventually get into that mix. He had some off-season knee surgery, so kind of put his throwing program. I think he was down for about 2 months just with rest and recovery he threw a lot of innings. He threw all last season, went and pitched in the Appalachian League last summer and pitched. So we kind of shut him down early and got him some rest, and then he had knee surgery. So he's working his way back in. I wouldn't be surprised if he finds his way into the rotation next weekend. But, I really think these guys, John Snyder and Travis Perry have had a ton of starts for us. John obviously had a great year last year, and if it wasn't for Colin, he could have been, he would have been the talk of the league. But the guy that's, I think, the biggest surprise would be Matt. Matt has, he's been a guy that, we recruited him out of high school. He was at Strongsville and went to OU. And when he came back here, we saw some flashes. He got a win against us. His only college win right now is against Youngstown State. So he likes to remind me of that every once in a while. But and then the weird year in 2020, and then he kind of got some action, but just wasn't, for whatever reason, just wasn't as sharp as we thought he would be. And he's really bounced back and had a great offseason. He was incredible. He's been incredible in this I don't know what you want to call it, winter session, spring training, and really looking for him to have a good year for us.
Now, John's going to be at the forefront of this pitching rotation. Obviously, your guys is ace and is already getting a lot of preseason recognition as one of the Horizon League pitchers of the year. Just talk about what he's kind of worked on in the offseason and what you want to see him improve on from a year ago.
I mean, from development, you want to talk about development, from the time he got here as a freshman to now, like just the maturity. He's just really grown up a lot, and just how he takes care of himself, what he does in between his starts, how he prepares mentally and physically to pitch. And that's the biggest difference. And he's done a great job of kind of communicating that to our younger guys, because a lot of our freshmen go out there, you get hit, you don't throw a lot of strikes. And he turns around and says, hey, well, I had like a 12 ERA as a freshman. Like, this game's hard. So don't, keep grinding, keep going out there and giving it your best effort. And, you can develop here. And now he's one of those guys. I think really his secondary stuff has come a long way in his fastball command. I mean, he's got elite stuff. We always known he's had elite stuff, but I think that next step is his command of all 3 or 4 of his pitches. That's really separated him.
Just what is your team necessarily looking to accomplish down south to start the year? I mean, it's the usual start to the year. You go down south because the weather up here obviously isn't as nice. Just what are you looking for your team to accomplish in this first part of the season for themselves that'll help build some momentum as the year goes on?
Well, we want to win. We want to win every game we get a chance to play. And I think that's probably the biggest difference between where we are now and where we were probably when I got here. We just wanted to compete. Now we want to go out. Our guys expect to win. But being realistic, today's going to be probably the first day we've got outside as a full team for a full practice this year. So, there's going to be some mistakes early. It happened to us last year at Troy where some balls dropped that usually won't, as the season goes on, some communication mistakes because we haven't really been on a full field. So cleaning some of that stuff up. But I just think what we want to do is we want to take what we've been doing in practice every single day and be able to now – this is like all the studying, all the homework, all the stuff. We're prepared. I think once you get out there, and you just let them go. And these guys are doing a good job of making sure that they're prepared to go play.
And coming off a year like last year where I had said you guys had one of the best seasons in program history, coming into this year, there's obviously a little bit of hype around the program. You guys are picked to finish towards the top of the conference. Do you guys kind of embrace that as being one of those top teams, or do you still feel a little bit disrespected that these people aren't looking at you as the best team in the Horizon League coming into this season?
Well, I always throw those things out the window. Preseason, I don't think preseason pitcher of the year, preseason, they never end up for the most part becoming that. It's preseason. So, but for me, I always tell our guys we're the number 1 team in the conference, and that's the attitude and the bravado that we have to have when we go to the ballpark every day, that we own wherever we're at, and we're going to go compete. And if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to beat us. We're not going to beat ourselves.
And being a Valley guy yourself, coming from Poland, just how do you incorporate your guys to embrace that Youngstown grit that you guys obviously showed last year, and I'm sure that you're going to show this year coming forward?
Yeah, I think, obviously we have a lot of players from our area, so it's not a difficult task for them to understand. But that's part of the recruiting process when we bring our guys in here is, we want guys that are tough, that are going to compete, that are going to play, hard. And I think if you go back to probably my first press conference, those are the things I guarantee. You're going to get a group of guys that are going to play with a ton of effort. They're going to play the game the right way. And, that's really what we've tried to instill in these guys at every, and I think 2020 helped because it got taken away from us. And so those guys, they don't take a lot of things for granted each and every day.
And when you look at this upcoming weekend and the opening weekend down in Florida, Bethune-Cookman, a program who recruits a lot of JUCO guys. And you know how good JUCO guys are coming from Mercyhurst Northeast. So what are you kind of expecting from the Wildcats, even though they haven't played in over 2 years now?
I mean, they have some good arms. I mean, we were able to see, there's limited video just because they have so many junior college guys and they haven't played in, I don't know, 550 days or something like that. So, they're going to be hungry when they come out. They haven't been on the field in so long. But they have, they have a junior college guy kind of from our area. He's went to Clark State and played, kind of in that D2 JUCO with Mercyhurst Northeast area. That's their Friday guy, can mix it up. Good breaking ball, probably be at 87, 88. They got a Sunday guy that pitched in the Appy League that, he can run it up there. He's 90. Yes, I've seen him up to 94, 95. Good breaking pitch. So, I know that they're going to play hard. They're going to be ready to go. They're going to want to, show out on opening weekend. They haven't played in a long time. So that's the kind of environments we're trying to put our guys in. So we're prepared, when we get into the conference. And that's what we've always tried to do is play good quality competition that's going to, make us better. So we're ready to go when the games, during the conference play.
Yeah, one more question before we let you go. This is going to be a sweet atmosphere this weekend. You play in a minor league ballpark, home of the Daytona Tortugas. It's also Daytona 500 weekend. So it's going to be a crazy weekend down there down south. So just talk about the excitement from your coaching staff and your players as well.
Yeah, playing down in Florida is the reason we do it is because of the weather. You're gonna have a great opportunity. They have a turf field and a beautiful complex. So yeah, I mean that's exciting. The Daytona 500 is like a couple miles away from the ballpark. We're right on the water. Palm trees in the backdrop. I mean, it doesn't get much better to start the opening weekend. But I don't care if we were playing in the parking lot. I think our guys are ready to get out there and go play against somebody else. We've tired of beating each other up. So looking forward to. I just tell them like you're ready. You're ready to go. We've done all the homework. We've researched everything we can do. Now it's just a matter of going out and playing.
Yep, Coach, we appreciate you coming on. We know you have a busy day here, media day. 2 days before Youngstown State will open up their season down south in Florida against Bethune-Cookman, and we'll be on the call here on YSN. This was our first Coach's Profile brought to you by Baird Brothers. What's up, Penguin Nation? Richie Giuliano, Anthony Romo there on the far left, and pleased to be joined by one of the super seniors here on the Youngstown State baseball team, and Lucas Nasani. Lucas, thanks for coming out, man.
Thanks for having me.
Now, your final season coming up. You've been with this program since 2018. Is it kind of set in that this is going to be your final opening weekend coming up?
Yeah. It has a little bit, but also, I don't think it's really going to hit me till kind of towards the end of the season. But, I'm really excited about the start of this season for sure.
Now, before we get into the start of this season, I kind of want to touch on last year. You're one of the most unselfish players on this team. Where Coach Berto puts you in the lineup, you moved guys around, you led the Horizon League and sacrificed bunts. Just talk about your role last year and, what you did to move guys and put guys in scoring position.
Yeah, I want to win. So I'll do anything that I can do personally to help the team win. We had some, really good players at the top of the lineup last year. And, if I could move some guys around to let those guys drive in some runs, I was willing to do it, and it worked, and we had a great season.
Now, as mentioned, you've been with the program since 2018, such a long time here in Youngstown. What do you think made last year's group so special, winning 32 games?
I think it was a real close group of guys. Some guys that have been here for, a long time and played together, and some of the guys that experienced, some of the lows and some of the highs too. So it was nice to be able to win some games, especially with that group.
Yeah, and talk about playing at home as well. I mean, you guys dominated Beastwood 19-4. You guys had some great crowds on some beautiful series victories against Wright State and some other big-time wins. Just talk about what it was like winning 19 games at home for the first time ever.
Yeah, it's awesome being able to play at home, especially for me being close around the area. So anytime you can have your friends and family there. And we had some really special times at home with, like you said, a lot of fans. And we even had a couple games, not all the games, but some, good weather too. So It was fun. Yeah, we were able to play well. And anytime you're able to play well at home is special.
Just talking about how well you guys played at home and just how much of a magical year it was last year. How much did you guys feed off of that home crowd intensity in some of those close games last year? You guys had a good amount of walk-offs at home, which is always great in front of your home crowd. Just how much did you guys feed off of that home atmosphere?
Yeah, like I said, we love playing at home, and when we're winning, you like it even more playing at home. And the field's a little different than some of the other playing surfaces we play on. It's grass. The infield can get real hard too, but it's something that we were used to. We practiced there. We even, had some shirts made up about the field and stuff. So it was fun. And like I said, when we were winning, it was even more fun.
So 5th year coming up here, one of the super seniors on this team, as Richie had noted. If you could go back and tell your freshman self one thing, what would be the hardest thing to transition to with college baseball?
I would say like something I would tell myself as a freshman. It's more of like mentality and stuff. I think a lot of freshmen are talented and a lot of guys can play this game at a high level. But the older you get, you start, thinking a little different at the plate and understanding stuff and understanding what the other team's going to try to do against you and stuff like that. That's where I feel like the experience really, you can see it in a lot of the older guys compared to some of the younger guys.
Now, you're a Youngstown guy through and through, won a state championship at champion, and, being able to represent that Y on your chest for 4 years at Youngstown State, what has that kind of meant to you throughout your journey here?
It's meant everything. This is a program that I wanted to play for ever since, I can remember. This is why I wanted to come to play college baseball, and I got the opportunities to, and, it's been special.
Now, we call it Nasani Island for a reason out there. I mean, last year you covered every part of the outfield. How much pride do you take playing center field?
A lot, yeah, and that's something I take a lot of pride. I work very hard in playing the outfield. And, we got a lot of other talented guys out in the outfield too, so it's really fun being able to, see the other guys work out there too.
Now, nice year for you last year. What are some of your personal goals this year? You might be in a new spot in the lineup, so what are some team and personal goals this upcoming season?
Want to win a conference championship for sure. I think we got the guys to do it too, and I'm excited.
Now, being a senior on this team, just how much do you embrace that leadership role? You have some new guys on the team this year that are going to have to get acclimated real quick because once the college season starts, there's no slowing down. It's really a rush throughout the season. What do you tell some of these freshman guys to kind of keep them calmed down in this first weekend?
I've been here for a long time, so I like to be able to be someone that they can come up and ask, questions to. I'm pretty calm guy too. I don't really, say a lot of stuff maybe during practices or games, but I feel like I'm very personable and guys can come up to me whenever they want. And, I've experienced a lot of highs and a lot of lows individually and as a team too. So, I've kind of been through a lot of it. So, if they have any questions, I like to be one of the guys they can come up and, ask stuff too.
And then having experience playing the first part of the year down south, just what is so special about going down there in this nice weather that we don't get to experience here in Ohio in February and early March? Just what makes these early season trips so special to you?
Yeah, the weather definitely, it's exciting being able to go out there and not have to, wear long sleeves, and it's going to be different too. I was looking at some of the temperatures for this weekend, but yeah, the weather makes it really special, and some of the nice stadiums I've been able to play in the last couple of years, opening up on the road with some big schools. So that's been really fun too.
Yeah, talk about your experience collegially, for some of the guys that might want to play college baseball. You played in some of the most elite atmospheres in the country, opened up in Mississippi State, Florida State. I mean, we're going to play at Michigan State, Ohio State this year. Just talk about your overall experience and, to some of the guys that are in high school and what it means to play college baseball.
Yeah, it's been special for sure. Like you said, playing in some stadiums I never thought I'd be able to get the opportunity to play in. And, it's just memories that I've made here at Youngstown State that will last me forever. It's been some of the best years of my life so far. And, I just try not to take a day for granted.
Now, you got any future plans after this last season, or just focusing on the 2022 Youngstown State baseball?
It's so close, but it feels so far away at the same time. I joke with my dad all the time. I'm going to be working here in a couple months, but my biggest worry is how my swing is right now. So, I'm not real sure yet, but I'll figure it out kind of probably towards the back half of the season.
All right, let's have a little fun here. We're going to do a rapid fire questionnaire with you, Lucas. So,
Okay.
First question for you: favorite pregame meal? I know you guys love Chipotle before games, so just talk about your favorite pregame meal.
Pre-game meal? I'm not a giant eater before games and never have since I've been a kid. But when you play late too, you have to eat something. So I'm trying to think. I have eggs pretty much every morning. So, pretty boring, but I'd probably say eggs, I guess. Yeah.
All right.
I'm not going to say steak or something. That'd be a lot. I don't eat that much before games. I never could, never have.
All right. Favorite video game?
I'm back in Fortnite right now. I've been
Yeah,
playing.
we've been playing a
Sticks
lot.
a little bit, yeah.
We'll have to bring the box.
We
and
will.
play a
I'm
little
in.
Fort. All right. Pump up song, get you going before the game. Something you listen to on the bus that's like, all right, it's game time.
I would say any song from I like Drake and Kevin Gates before the games.
Right.
I listen to both of those guys a lot. So
Favorite bat you've ever used in your career? It could go all the way back to 10U baseball on a big barrel, a wood bat, anything.
I know. B2 Combat. It was all gray. It was like 100% composite. I remember when I joined the travel team at Ohio Glaciers, all the kids were swinging it. And like you couldn't fit in unless you swung it. I got my hands on one and it was crazy. Yeah. Started hitting homers and stuff. It was crazy bad.
Favorite MLB player?
Andrew McCutcheon.
All right.
Yeah,
So you're a Pirates fan.
Yeah. Ever since I was little, I've liked to catch. So.
All right. One last question for you before we let you go. The excitement for you personally this upcoming weekend. As we mentioned and alluded to earlier when we started, this is your last opening weekend of your career at Youngstown State. So just talk about your excitement level. You guys have been indoors for so long, and you finally get out there and get to be able to compete.
Yeah, I'm super excited. It feels different. This year it's my last year, and I kind of simplified things. I just want to go out there and play as hard as I can, and have the most fun as I possibly can too. Like I said, it's my last ride, so just going to try to, give it everything I have. So I'm excited.
Hey, we appreciate you coming on. This is Lucas Nasani, senior outfielder for the Youngstown State baseball team, and our first player profile of the Youngstown State baseball season, brought to you by Baird Brothers.
Ooh, that was fun. Welcome back to the YSU baseball team. It's been a minute since we've seen them last, and we talked to Coach Bernalini a lot last year. We're going to talk to him a lot this year. It's the first of many pieces of content that we're going to have for the YSU baseball team going through this season. And like I said, you're going to hear Richie Giuliano's voice an awful lot if you're a YSU baseball fan. You're muted. Hold on. What's that? I fell.
No, it didn't fall. Plug cable. We're excited too because Anthony Romo and Richie Giuliano do a great job anyways with whatever work it is that they cover too. So YSU baseball is going to be covered pretty well for this spring.
I think DJ's best call I've ever heard him have was last year in Houston. I don't know if you remember that when YSU beat Houston in Houston. It's on our ad camp, one of our ads. I think it's on Super Dave's YSN ad. He had the broadcast cam up so people could see his reaction to YSU baseball. Brings us so much energy, and we love doing it. We love covering them. It makes us step our level up a little bit, I think, and we love our partnership with them.
Yeah, and they do a great job too. Should be an exciting year this year for YSU baseball.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a team that is absolutely going to compete for a Horizon League championship. I know Wright State's still in there, and of course, they did what they did last year, and they're an amazing baseball team. But YSU has a lot of talent, and it's a lot of homegrown talent, and they're going to kick things off this weekend. And good thing for them, George Bertolini talked about how they haven't been outside a lot this fall, but Bethune-Cookman, they haven't played in over a year, over 2 years, like 500 and some days. So I think the playing fields are going to be kind of equal because, Bethune-Cookman might be outside a little bit more, but they actually haven't been on a field against someone not themselves in over a year. So I think the jitters will be there for both teams.
Yeah, and it should be a fun game. It should be fun. It's exciting opening weekend here for college baseball.
Mm-hmm. College baseball is opening this weekend. College softball opened last weekend. We have a bunch of softball alums that are starting their college career or continuing their college career. Some at YSU. Content Rinaldi had a big weekend for the YSU Penguins last weekend. Obviously, the Mooney grad, Bree Kohler, had a couple of clutch hits for YSU. 7 strikeouts in her time in the circle. South Range alum that we covered throughout her whole career. So we love watching these players that we get to cover from freshman to senior year in high school go out and blossom in the college sports world. Jake Gehring at Ohio State. I can go on and on and on and on. We have so many players that are playing at the next level that we've been fortunate enough to tell their story and to call their games and to cover them throughout their career.
Yeah, and definitely some great, fantastic baseball players that come from this area, and softball players as well. And there's no shortage of them around here.
No shortage at all. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, we are going to start talking about the games that are happening tonight on the network. There's one big tournament game and then a couple of boys regular season games as well. And we'll also talk about there's this big wrestling meet, I think, going on tonight. It might be like standing room only at South Range. I don't know. I've been told through the grapevine that it's pretty big. We'll talk about that too and preview tomorrow's show as well after we get back from this break on Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
Every customer has a story, and at Greenwood Chevrolet, we are committed to making sure it ends with you in the right vehicle. I get to be part of somebody's adventure, whether it's buying a car for the first time, helping them get approved, or finding the perfect car for their budget. I'm proud that people trust me with their finances. They trust me to take care of them, and they trust me with their story. I'm Tracy, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Working with your family can be stressful at times, but because they're family, you know that you're going to get a loving, honest answer, even when things don't make sense to any problem. Dealing with Medicare can be confusing and overwhelming. That's why here at Myers Family Insurance, we do our best to give you honest and caring answers to all of your questions. Family, like Medicare, isn't always perfect, but when you put others first, the results can be amazing.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance.
It's storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Notice we'll have scattered showers on Thursday.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsurancesolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, shop with confidence knowing we're ready to go the extra mile for you. With the largest selection of used vehicles in the Valley, backed by the Greenwood Advantage Warranty. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
My guy keeps it 100% of the time. He wants all 100, won't settle for 99. And it's more than stats, because there's people in those numbers. And I was one of the lost sheep. I'm so glad he cares for all 100. I'm 100% safe, 100% free, 100% love. I can be 100% me. He gave all 100 when they put him up on that tree. That's 100% passion for 100% free. So if I play in front of 100, or if I play in front of 2, there's an audience of 1 getting 100% of what I can do.
WRS Wealth Advisors is the area's premier wealth and retirement specialist. With our combined 70 years experience, WRS Wealth Advisors is the area's premier wealth and retirement specialist. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services, or visit wrswealth.com. Good luck, athletes.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Anthony Hartwig alongside Ty Bartell. And Ty, before we get to our picks and our previews for tonight, according to Dana Ballish, this was tweeted about 27 minutes ago. The National High School Federation passes new football rules. One of them is like, okay, awesome. The other one is the rule that we've all been waiting for, and it's like about time. So here's a teaser. Now the QB can purposely throw the ball to avoid intention as long as it hits the line of scrimmage. So no intentional grounding. The way I read that, no intentional grounding as long as it goes past the line of scrimmage. Doesn't have to be near a eligible receiver. You can just chuck the ball away if you want, as long as it goes past the line of scrimmage to avoid a sack. Player safety, obviously, taking sacks away from quarterbacks. I kind of get it. I would not want that in the higher levels of football, because obviously these quarterbacks are good enough to not have to make that decision. But in high school, I can be on board with the quarterbacks being able to just throw the ball away to avoid a sack.
Also kind of takes the games out of the officials' hands as well. Because now the officials don't have to pay as close of attention to, was that receiver close enough to be considered eligible now? Now you could just say, okay, it was past the line of scrimmage. That's the only line you need to watch.
I think, the way I read it, it might be a little bit more intricate than this, but he doesn't even have to be out of the pocket.
Which that's interesting. We'll have to double check on that too, because before I think it was, you had to be out of the pocket, but we'll have to see.
Another one, this is one that everyone's been waiting for. Thank God this finally happened. Players can now start wearing number 0 as a legal number. So we're going to see number 0 somewhere. Finally, we'll get a 0. Who are some of the best zeros? I can't even think of a 0 to wear number 0 other than like Gilbert Arenas from the Wizards.
Basketball wise,
or any sport really. Football, I can't even think of any zeros.
Westbrook was 0 in Thunder. Kevin Love 0. Kevin Love 0 in Cleveland.
Was he? I thought he was 1.
He's 0 because he chose it because it's love for tennis, I think.
Was he always 0?
Yeah. It was 42 when he was with Minnesota.
Okay.
But it chose 0 in Cleveland because I think that's like a score in tennis.
0 seems like a basketball number.
Yeah, it's a big basketball number.
I can't really think of too many football players that wore the number 0.
Number 0 in football is just about as rare as a pitcher in baseball with a single-digit jersey.
Now, the Yankees have the 0 retired, right?
I believe so. I think like 0 through like
0 through 9 is all retired.
Yeah, it's like all retired from Yankees.
Because now they were missing 2, but now obviously Jeter's been retired for 2.
Jeter's retired. 3 is Ruth. Yeah. They have they're running out of jerseys that they could use.
But now we'll officially see a number 0 in high school football, which makes you wonder if any of our kids will switch to a number 0 this year.
They might. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. It was kind of a weird rule anyway.
In the 0 hour. If someone
can't be a 0 in football.
Can't be a 0. No, it's illegal. Not anymore. Finally, it's about time. I know that's the decision we've all waited for.
0 is one thing, but the people that go double 0. Now, how many double zeros?
Double 0.
Like that's a very big basketball.
That's like baseball too. Like you don't see.
I don't know how many double. That's an interesting question. How many double zeros? Because I'm trying to think of right off the top of my head how many double zeros I know.
Double 0. Huh.
Jim Otto, I think, is one that I could think of right off the top of my head.
Of course, the tie brings out someone from before the Super Bowl era because he's a machine.
I can't think of too many. Didn't Robert Parrish? I think Robert Parrish wore double 0 too for basketball.
I gotta tell you, I don't even know who Robert Parrish is.
You don't know who Robert Parrish is?
You said that name, and I was like, "Who?"
Oh man, you don't know a lot of.
I don't follow professional basketball.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The not basketball anymore. That's what NBA stands for.
Yeah,
in my opinion, they actually called the travel the other night, which I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And it was so. It got so much heat. It was like trending on Twitter. They actually called the travel. People were like, it's a gather. I'm like, he took 4 steps. It's travel. Shut up. You can't take 4 steps in basketball. Let's get to tonight's games. And Ty, it's the one tournament game on the docket tonight on YSN. Canfield traveling to Howland. Round 3, These two teams have split, and the total combined difference of the two games that they've played have been 3 points. Canfield won by 1, Howland won by 2. They both won on the road. This is round 3 for all the marbles and a shot into the district semifinals to play the winner of Massillon Jackson against Cuyahoga Falls, which we assume, but not taking for granted, but assume it will be Massillon Jackson.
Mass Jack.
The Polar Bears.
Well, we already picked this one, and
I know we picked it. What do you think about this one? We really haven't really dove into it. I mean, these teams haven't been able to separate themselves at all this year. They've both beaten up on the rest of the AAC. They've gone in the games against each other down to the wire. Do you think that this is the time where one of the teams like flexes their muscles and makes this maybe a game where they prove that they're the better team, or do you think it's another one that goes straight down to the nuts wire, and we have another game that is decided by less than 3 points?
Well, it depends. If one team might come out with a hot start. I mean, I don't know. These two teams seem so even. I know you and I split on this one. I went Howland. I think you went Canfield.
That's like no, I have Howland too.
Okay, I picked
we
Howland.
Both picked Howland versus Jackson. Well, I had Louisville winning the next round, so that's wrong. So I'm gonna miss a point there, and then obviously Glen Oak in the top of that bracket. This is the Massillon Perry District for Division I, by the way, is where you find these teams.
I can't see Howland losing twice at home this season to Canfield, but you never know. Both these teams are so even. Both these teams have so many good seniors and so many other good players. They both have scorers that could put up multiple
Coach
points.
is tuning in.
Look at that.
Aaron Pounds.
I love it. Aaron Pounds tuning in.
So careful what you say.
No. I've been a big supporter of Howland too, but I love what Coach Reel's doing over there with Canfield. This is going to be a great game. You talk Summer Sammarone, Alyssa Dill on one side. You got Alyssa Pompilia. You got Alyssa Masucci. You got
record breaker for votes in a week, Kylie McLean.
Kylie
Big Dog of the Valley winner.
Jamie DeSalvo is a shot blocking queen if I've ever seen.
You got McElroy who can just straight up shoot on Canfield's side.
There's
deadly spot shooter.
It's so unfortunate that these two teams have to meet this early because this could be a very
I wish this was like a district championship. You know,
it's almost deserving of it with how good these two teams have been this year, with the level they've played at and how they've played each other. It's been phenomenal this season.
If these two teams were in any other division, you would say, oh, the winner of this game has a good chance to win the districts. But you look at this bracket and it's like the winner of this game plays Massillon Jackson, and then Glen Oak is sitting there on the top half, and it's like, oh my gosh, this Division I bracket is just a garbage.
It is. It's tough, but like a lot of coaches say too, you gotta just get through sectionals, get to districts, and then it's a little bit of luck from there. It really is. You just kind of got to ride a hot streak.
Both these teams are just fighting, and this is a coach official ism that I kind of love. You're fighting for one more game, 2 more practices. That's all you got to focus on. So all your goal is to get 1 more game, 2 more practices. So that's all these two teams are fighting for. They can forget about Massillon Jackson tonight. They have to focus on the other opponent, and they are fighting for 1 more game, 2 more practices.
The bittersweet moment too is that you're fighting like for the seniors too. You're fighting for your basketball life. Every game now hinges on the outcome of this one. The next one hinges on the outcome of this one. So, like you say, Anthony, we see senior seasons end. As Coach Pounds, thank you for all the support too, Coach Pounds. We definitely appreciate you, and we've had him on a few times too. We're so excited to have Howland on our program this season too, for starting in football and then coming right into basketball. They've been huge this season.
Your mic started to cut out a little bit, but now I hear it clearly again.
Oh, was it cutting out?
Yeah, it was getting like fuzzy.
Glitch
gremlins attacking us.
But no, I mean, just looking at this game, it's gonna be fun too, and it's gonna be sad to see one of these teams' seasons have to end. See some of these seniors have to say goodbye to the game. But hey, it's going to be one heck of a game. And I think that's the part about sports that's always so intriguing too, and so kind of almost romantic. It's the finality of it too that it always has to bring for everybody.
I think one of the unsung heroes for Canfield's side that no one talks about enough, because everyone gets on the Alyssa Dill train, rightfully so, and the Summer Sam Marone train. I think Kate Solly is kind of like an unsung hero down low for Canfield. She does a lot of work in the paint that probably doesn't get looked at because of how good their guards are and how good they can shoot the ball. But I would sneakily look at Jamie DeSalvo versus Kate Solly in the box as a big matchup for this game.
I'm going in the other matchup. I'm going Kylie McLean. I'm going Summer Samarone in this one because I think Kylie McLean, if you want to talk about an unsung hero, well, the Howland community started singing about how,
I don't think it's unsung.
how important she is to this team too. No, she doesn't have the points. I mean, she's not the big name like Pompeo and
against Canfield the last time. Canfield did a really good job against Alyssa Pompelia. Held her to 6 points. Kylie McLean was the one that hurt them with 19.
Yeah.
So
she has the ability to do that. She has the ability to drop 20. She's a very good point guard, though, too.
It'll be very interesting to see. Sorry to cut you off, but it'll be very interesting to see how Canfield's defense, if and how it adjusts to what Howland did the last time. Because obviously, you still want to stop Alyssa Pompelia first, in my opinion. But you can't let other players go off for 20 plus and expect to have a good chance.
But the thing is, great players are so hard to hold down like that. And I just can't see them holding great scores down to low scores. And it's like, neither of these teams are changing the book on what they've done all season. There's going to be minor tweaks, but nothing's getting completely changed in this matchup.
This is something that Howland's defense struggled with a couple of times against Canfield the second time around. When Alyssa Dill brings the ball up the floor off a rebound, you got to pick her up. She will absolutely just take the jump shot if you don't pick up the ball. She did that, I believe, 3 times where she just kind of walked the ball up the floor. No one picked her up. She was like, okay, I'm going to take this shot from the top of the floor. You got to pick up Alyssa Dill if she's bringing the ball down the floor, right? I mean, that's like a no-brainer.
And with the scores ending the way they do, too, we know these two teams are so even. And when it comes down to it, it's no more than a shot difference, too. So sometimes the game's a little bit of luck and a whole lot of skill. And sometimes you need a little bit of luck falling on one more shot for you.
I think 48-46, Howland won at Canfield, and then 52-51, Canfield won at Howland. And these two teams share the AAC crown. So they share the AAC trophy. This one is for all the marbles, you could say.
You could say unofficial AAC champion.
Just give me the banner. Let the coaches get together, the ADs get together. Whoever wins this game just wins.
This is our AAC champ. Everything's on the line then. Dang, that would be
championship on the line as well. And a trip to districts, which will be held in Massillon Perry on Tuesday against the winner of Massillon Jackson against Cuyahoga Falls.
Should be interesting. D1's a gauntlet.
So some other matchups tonight happening. Boys regular season matchups. I believe most of these are makeup games.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, from the snow day that we had. It wasn't even last week, was it? It was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, maybe kind of games.
Urban Scholars will travel to Valley Christian. Ty. Let's see. I won the night last night, didn't I?
Yeah, I believe so. What do we split on? Coach Pound just giving us the scores: 40-38 at Canfield, 52-51.
I was wrong I was right at the one at Howland. I was wrong on the one that I didn't call.
Yeah,
of course.
It's 3 points. You were right about 3 points differential in two games.
Yes, I knew that one. That was one of the ones I've been harping on. But of course, my memory is a little bit better when I'm there calling the game than just kind of watching it. But yeah, Urban Scholars against Valley Christian. But remember, let's see, last night we split on, Streetsboro won. You didn't pick Streetsboro, did you? I don't.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. That's fine. You want me to pick first or you?
Yeah. Let's have you pick this one first. Urban Scholars at Valley, boys basketball.
Boys basketball?
Boys basketball.
Oh, yeah, it has to be boys basketball. What am I talking about? Give me Dolph Carroll and the Eagles.
Dolph. I'll take Valley as well. They have 100% of the vote. Warren, Harding, and Fitch, you'll be at this one. Harding has 100% of the fan vote.
Oh, no love for the Falcons.
I will take the fans and say Warren Harding.
I will take the love and go for the Falcons.
This one, Lisbon traveling to Malvern. It will be on the network. Rick Daly making the trip. Malvern has 100% of the fan vote. Ty, it's your first pick.
Some confidence after they beat West Branch too. Lisbon's been a team of surprises this year,
Malvern
though.
beat West Branch?
Or no, not Malvern, Minerva. I don't know.
Minerva. I was like, wait a minute.
I
What
was
did
like,
that happen?
Malvern. I don't know. I just got those two. I'm going to go with Lisbon. They've been full of surprises this season. I'm going to go with them for another one.
I'll split with you because I have to, because time is winding down for me. I'll take Malvern to beat Lisbon. Next, we have Champion traveling to Brookfield. This one is split 50-50. And my first pick, I'll take this one's hard. Toss up. I'll take Brookfield at home.
I'll take Brookfield at home as well.
It's not splitting with me, so you can keep me at bay.
Well, you're down by what, 16 now? So.
16. Straight up defensive prevent defense there. Mooney travels to Hubbard, and it is split 50-50. So fans buying into the Hubbard boys tonight a little bit. I will take Mooney though.
Yeah, I'm taking
your first pick. I'm sorry I took that from you.
I was taking Mooney anyway, so I'll go Mooney as well.
South Range and Rootstown duel for wrestling will also be on the network tonight. DJ will have that. It's also senior night at South Range. They will wrestle a very good Rootstown team that they'll all probably be seeing again in the individual tournament. There are going to be a lot of head-to-head matchups, I believe, between the Rovers and the Raiders as they go through sectionals, districts, regionals, and state.
Yep, and it should be real fun too with the individuals coming up.
And that's going to be a packed house. They are expecting a sold-out crowd. Donnie Farron was telling me last night it might be the biggest crowd they've had in that gym all season for any sport, period. There's going to be, people up in the mezzanine. Both sides of the floor are going to be open as well. And tomorrow we're going to have a chance to talk to Coach Mark Hewlin and Gary Altizer as part of our wrestling segment, weekly wrestling segment. And not only will he be able to talk to us about the state championship, but he'll also be able to talk to us about senior night and the atmosphere that goes on tonight as the Raider community comes out and packs the gym for their new state champion wrestling team.
Yep, and it should be a packed house tonight, and it should be an exciting atmosphere. So if you can't be there, watch it on the network.
Quick reminder that the boys basketball games tonight are free. The wrestling is free. The girls tournament game is $9.99 pay-per-view. Will get you access to that game for that one. Due to the charges that OHSAA puts on us to stream tournament games, we have to put up the pay-per-view wall. Normally, it'd get you access to all the tournament games of the night, but that is the only tournament game of the night. So this time around, it is $9.99 for just that one game tonight. But all the other games are free too. So if you want to hop around, you can still hop around.
Yep. And I mean, so hop around as you may too. We have plenty of games on the network too, free of charge tonight, thanks to our sponsor.
Hippity hoppity, all the way to YSN. We're taking a 22-hour break. Me and Ty will be back tomorrow from 12 to 2. Casual Sports Podcast coming up from 2 to 3, and then Power Hours got you covered from 3 to 4. Gary Niddle is going to be on the Power Hour today, the head coach of the Canfield baseball team, to talk about their upcoming season and the prospects that they have going forward. A lot of players returning from last year's great Canfield baseball team. So look forward to that. And then we have, 5 boys games on the network tonight. We have 1 girls tournament game and wrestling. So 7 events total on the network tonight for you to tune in to. We will be back tomorrow. We'll see everyone tomorrow and have a wonderful evening.